Hi, this is Tom. Welcome to my channel. I've been doing a series of videos regarding using a catalog-based system to do ChatGPT prompts for Midjourney. And I'll start out by showing some of the images that I just created for the daily theme of Orienteering. Orienteering is a competition where people use navigational tools to find their way, and there's clues along the way. So this first prompt is a Henri Rousseau style. This looks like Charles Adams. It is pretty cool. That's another Rousseau, looks like. And I'm looking at this one. I'm not sure what this is. These are prompts taken from different example prompts that are in the catalog. I'll show the catalog in a moment, but these are just sort of chosen. Well, I was going to say at random. It's not exactly at random, though, because I asked ChatGPT to try to choose them intelligently. So these are the ones that I chose from the catalogs that I gave it. And some of the, oh, I didn't get to the stylized ones. Those are below. This is a map uh, one, which I thought was kind of cool. Okay, so here's a style one. You see, it has a style code. So I did three, whereas I give it a number of style codes. I think 20, and asked it to choose from that. This one I like quite a lot. It's a nostalgic photo type of style code. This one's a very detailed sort of wood cutting one, and I like this one too. Um, Not sure how to characterize this style. So the way that I did this was I went to, oh, I remember what, no, actually, I'm not sure what it might have done it kind of funny. I'm going to have to look. Let's see. So, yes, this one I did wrong. All right. But this turned out good. I'll have to work on fixing that. What this should have been would have been, there's like five different styles. So this is sort of a typical thing that it does, which is it likes to sort of change things you give it to its own style, even though I have in the instructions for it to follow closely the example that it was given. Um, so the original example was a lot more terse than this, and it just wrote it out. But these actually have five different styles involved, um, which it says charcoal and coal fusion. So let's take a look at what that was. So that's, I think it's based on this one. So that would be, actually, I don't see it here. Oh, here it is right here. It's this one. Okay, I was expecting it to be in the section. It's actually the name. So it should have looked like this, but with, I'll show you what it should have looked like. I'll just go into Midjourney and I'll do it. So this is what I would have expected would have been this with orienteering. And then I'll add some dash dash stuff at the end here. Okay, I'll let it run that. And probably won't make much difference, but all right. So what I did was I have three catalogs that I loaded into it at the beginning of the session. So I did this catalog, catalog only styles game. That's one that has 5 different styles. Catalog channels, and I chose one of the channels. These are my own personal channels. And so I have prompts from a number of different channels, and I chose one of the channels for it to write the prompts on. And then a third one is called catalog style codes, which were the style code ones that it did. I started the session, and at the beginning of the session, I gave it a script to run, which is similar to one that I've included in my blog post here that I'll reference. This only, sorry, it's catalog-based system for Midjourney prompts. So the script I'm using, I might update, include a more updated one. I actually used a more updated one, but this one should work fine too. And basically just copy and paste the script. And I have some catalogs that I've included in, excuse me, in my blog. And you can use the script to create your own catalogs. I've discussed this in other videos, how to do that. But if you just ask it to guide you through the process, that should work. And so I gave it 3 prompts. Here's the script I gave it to start with. And then after I gave it the script, it responded by asking me if it wanted it to explain to me how the system worked or help it to build a catalog or what I wanted to do. And I said I have some catalogs to give you, and I gave it 3 catalogs. And then after I gave it the 3 catalogs, I said what the daily theme was, which is orienteering. And then I chose, I asked it for each of the 3 catalogs to, right at the very end here, I said, note that the catalogs have names. Please return me the contents of the first catalog. And this was the catalog style codes, which I actually had forgotten that I had structured this differently than the other ones. And it returned to me the catalog that I gave it. And so these have the style codes, and it has a description of the style codes. And this was a nice little project. I did a video on this earlier where you can actually give it a style code and an image. It's the way that I did this with this script. And then based on the image that it saw and the style code, it came up with these sections for the catalog. But not to reuse it, I just have it based on what it wrote out rather than showing it the images. But that's a cool little functionality on a previous video. I might make another one discussing this as well. Anyway, these are the style codes, and I asked it to choose 3 of them for the orienteering task. And then I did the same thing with the other style codes, asking it to, sorry, not style codes, catalogs, asking it to choose 3 different sections for one of them. And for the other one, I chose the section myself and asked it to choose 3 prompts from it. And when I did the first one, I was careful to give it instructions to look through. I said right here, I said, be sure to consider all the possible style codes before choosing the 3 best ones. And the reason I did that was that it tends to just choose the first 3 that it comes across if you don't give it instructions like that. And if I go down here to right here, this is, I said, this is one of the catalogs I gave that has a number of different channels. One I called the channels catalog. I gave it one of the section, which is a channel that I have on my personal server called ApplyCast. And I asked it to choose 3 from this, and it just chose the first 3. So I said, oh, it looks like you just chose the first 3. Remember to examine all of the ones and look for the ones that are the best 3. So that's sort of a common thing that can happen when you're asking it to do things. It's a good practice to ask it to think carefully, step by step, through what it's doing before it makes its choices. And then it did do that and came up with this rabbit in Chinese coat, majestic animals, oil painting, and ancient Chinese river landscape. And those were ones I showed at the beginning, which were up here. Here's the rabbit in the coat, and here's an ancient Chinese landscape, and then here is I'd have to look and see what's it say this was. It says it's a majestic animals oil painting. All right. So, this is quite interesting. I remember this one now, because this is very different in look than the original image that I based the prompt on. But I came up with a nice image. And so using the catalogs, it's something I've really enjoyed. I've been doing that throughout this month. And I give it just a whole bunch of example prompts is basically all that it is, and then ask it to choose from these prompts and come up with images based on the prompts, based on a theme. And the theme I've been mostly using is the daily theme that's what it's called, the daily theme from Midjourney. And this is a really nice, quick way to come up with a nice variety of prompts. And something I like about it is that I don't know what it's going to give me. So, and I would say that the chances of it's coming up with, good prompts and interesting images is very, very high. Uh, I didn't edit out any of the ones that it gave here just to show. I just chose 9 at random, or actually might be slightly more than 9 because I might have done more than one upscale for some of these, but you can see that this is quite a nice collection of different sorts of prompts. And you can use what you have to kind of um, build upon. So some of these I like quite a lot. Like I liked this style code one. Actually, all 3 of these styles I like quite a lot. Now with the style codes, you tend to get things that look quite similar to one another. You don't have as much freedom. This was a Charles Adams one, so this was pretty cool. But I think this was pretty neat too. This was an actual, they tried to do maps on this one. But I think if I were going to explore in more detail, I would use this particular prompt, which reference Henri Rousseau, uh, Henri Rousseau style. And you can imagine that if you used, different sorts of artists, you could get quite a nice collection of different styles um, using this sort of prompt. So if I wanted to explore a particular prompt in more detail, I think this is the one that I would choose. But you can see that you get a nice eclectic collection of different sorts of prompts using this approach. Well, I hope you found that useful, and I will include in the description of the video where you can find the script to run if you'd like to run a similar script, or I might actually include this actual script that I used. I think I might do that. And also, I have a few catalogs that you can copy and paste if you'd like to reuse them. And also you can build your own using the script that it'll help guide you through. And also I have videos that discuss how to do that if you'd like to look for that. So I hope you found this interesting, and thanks for watching.